Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Hot Toys Snowspeeder Luke that has just been released. Let's get started. So this is the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Luke Skywalker aka Snowspeeder Luke from Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. It's $265 and it's just been released in Hong Kong. This for me was a dopo. Back in the days when I did pre-order things, I rarely dopoed anything. Don't let the shirt fool you. I only bought 2 of these shirts to support 6 scale scavengers because I like the shirt and I really like those guys. If you haven't followed 6 scale scavengers and subscribed to them on YouTube and you are a 6 scale collector, you're probably doing it wrong. So go over there to 6 scale scavengers and give them a sub. I presume like they're kind of the OGs or some of the OGs and one of the best podcasts that 6 scale podcast that I have seen. Anyway, I digress. So this here was a dopo and I rarely dopoed. These days I rarely pre-order, and even back when I was pre-ordering, dopos day one pre-orders were few. They're just very rare, but this was one of the ones I dopoed. Why? It's original trilogy. It's Empire Strikes Back, which is my personal Star Wars movie. I think it is the best Star Wars movie to date and probably always will be. It's the hero, and it's not just your farm boy Luke or your Bespin Luke or your Jedi robes Luke. This is a bit out of left field. Like Luke, one of his things is that he's a pilot. This is going to pop on your shelf. I mean, for multiple different reasons. You have the fact that it's orange, the fact that it's vintage looking and it's worn, because let's face it, the Rebel Alliance, like they're not a, really like they didn't have like all of the finances behind them, will you say? Like they weren't like they're massive, like kind of a group, what the word I'm looking for, an empire, I suppose. They weren't like the Empire, they kind of had to kind of pull things together, like whether it's weapons or artillery or vehicles and stuff like that. So it's supposed to look weathered and rustic and dirty up and thrown together and basically vintage. It looks like something right out of the 70s, even though the movie was released in 1980. Like, where do I even start with this? The fact that it's orange, the fact that it's heavily worn and weathered, battle damage if you want. I wouldn't say battle damage, weathered I think is the best word for it. The helmet, the paint applications on the helmet and the weathering, even like the Rebel symbols of Knight's Touch, the colouring, the blast shield, the little the comm link, the radio, the mic he has, the chin strap, and even that bit that goes in between the head and the helmet itself. Again, the fact that it's orange. How many figures on your shelf are going to pop out like that? Like this kind of like, I don't know what this is, like an oxygen hose or something like that. The belt on the outside, the gun holster, the lightsaber hilt, the kind of suicide straps here, even the snow boots and all these little kind of cartridges. I presume they're like, gun cartridges or something like that. I mean, come on, like this is like, I will critique it a little bit later on, but this is just a win. The fact that it's like the pilot suit. I know he piloted the X-Wing and he piloted the Snowspeeder, and the X-Wing is probably the one that people wanted more, but look, I think this is an absolute win. It was a dopo. If you haven't noticed, I actually really like it. So let's take a look at that head sculpt. From that angle, I think it's pretty good. Hot Toys always struggle with Mark Hamill. I don't think they've ever nailed a 1/6 scale Mark Hamill. I've never seen a 1/6 scale head sculpt from Hot Toys which absolutely nails Mark Hamill's likeness. I think perhaps it's because he was young back then, and a lot of times they struggle sometimes with the younger head sculpts. They tend to get the older, more wrinkled up, more weathered head sculpts better, like the likes of Krennic and Dooku and the older Tamora Morrison. But they do struggle sometimes when the figure is younger, probably less wrinkles and probably they can't really it's easier to add definition and texture and character to an older, wrinklier figure. But maybe that's it. Also, they're probably working off like older video footage of him because Mark Hamill isn't young anymore. It's not like they're doing a Kate Bishop who's still young or a Yelena who's still young. Maybe that's it. But yeah, look, I still think this head sculpt's pretty good. Is it a 10? No. I'd probably put this as maybe a 7, maybe an 8. I think the prototype images, I think there's a slight difference between them. I've heard a lot of people comparing this to, I think it's Endor Luke. Personally, yeah, I think this is probably a 7, maybe 7.5, maybe an 8. But from that angle there, I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, they definitely haven't nailed it. But look, it doesn't bother me because the star of the show is that helmet. It's going to be posed with the helmet, with the blast shield down, the visor. And the lights, like, see, look, like they look like completely different sculpts. This looks pretty good. And this looks very weird. So even though I love it, I have to critique it a bit. I can't let them away with that. But yeah, it's still like, look at that. Like, I'm just admired by the attention. Sorry, let me restart that again. I'm always like mesmerized. I'm blown away by the skill and the talent and the attention to detail that these that Hot Toys produces, whether it's their sculptors or the people in charge of the cut and sew and the outfits, or in this case, just the design and the detailing. And look at all the weathering, the paint's chipped away there. That looks amazing. So even like the colors here, you have the red Rebel Alliance symbol. It's kind of orange here of the blast shield. You can still see his face underneath. This little mic here and the chin strap. And just the dirtied up, weathered and paint chipped look. This just looks. This is the figure like that I was looking forward to the most this year. Like, not only was it original trilogy, not only is it Empire Strikes Back, not only is it Luke Skywalker, but it's this particular version I think I prefer over even like my favorite look for Luke tends to be the Jedi robes look for Return of the Jedi, or now it's kind of synonymous with the Mandalorian season 2 finale, and that's great and all, but at the end of the day, it is what is it like? It's a black robe. That's all it is really. But no, I think this is pretty good. Yeah, just loving this. Like, that looks amazing, and even like that looks so lifelike as well. Like, if you looked at it quick, you wouldn't know it's a figure, and that's the whole point. 40th anniversary packaging, obviously. You have the grapple gun, so you can recreate that the underbelly scene of the AT-AT Walker, and that, again, like, that's a piece of cinematic history. Like, the word iconic gets thrown around, but that is an iconic scene from an iconic movie, from an iconic trilogy. You have the lightsaber there. You look at all like the belt and the detail and all these little pockets in his holster, and there's a little D-ring there where you can hang the lightsaber hilt off when he's not using it. This is a pretty good pose as well, like holding, like, to be honest, there's a pose later on that I want to show you that I'm more than likely gonna use, because it has the helmet on, the blast shield down, you have the lightsaber hilt, you've got the gun, the holster, and he's still holding this kind of grapple gun, which is actually magnetic, and you can attach it. I think there's a magnetic kind of hexagon shape part that goes over the stand. Yeah, like this is all kinds of good. Nice photos as well with the Imperial Destroyer in the background. And it comes with the hands as well as the gloves, which I think is kind of unique. Like, this is going front and center. Like, this is going, like, you know, like Mando might have to move there. That Mando I have here, you know, because like this is going to go front and center. I might actually put a Stormtrooper. I have an Empire Strikes Back Stormtrooper and a Boba Fett Stormtrooper, or Boba Fett Stormtrooper. Sorry, an Empire Strikes Back Stormtrooper and Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. Maybe they're going to go left or right of him. Yeah, because it's just really exciting, because it's an event. It's not just another figure, it's an event. Like, typically I get excited no matter which figures I'm getting, but this is one that's like just a big deal. Still going strong. It's a 42-year-old movie. Still a major following. Yeah, like, look, this is, and then you can put them in Dagobah as well. I think it has I think the stand, which I won't use anyway, has like 3 different slip covers. There's a bit of snow, and then there's another one that's like Dagobah, I think, and then there's another one which is the underbelly of the AT-AT, which is magnetic. So you could actually put that on the top of the decal and have the thing that shoots out of the grapple. So there's a grapple just attaching onto it. Like, we have the blaster as well. It's a nice touch. It's actually my first Jedi in the collection, which is a bit sacrilegious. I've got Ahsoka on the way, but she's not really a Jedi anymore. I haven't ordered Jedi Luke from Mandalorian season 2, but that would probably happen. Nice to get an R2D2 with him. R2D2 and Jedi Luke, or even R2D2 with this would be great, like a recreated Dagobah scene, because they'll pair so well together. And even like the colors, like the white and the black and the blue, very similar to the kind of the colors on R2D2, so they'll pose really well together. And I just kind of holding out for that original trilogy R2D2. So, you know, the AT-AT in the background, this looks all like, even the head sculpt, I definitely think the head sculpt's better than the prototype images. Like, I'm leaning towards this would be, yeah, it's not definitely Mark Hamill. I don't think I could pick up that head sculpt and go around and show it to someone and say, who do you think that is? Maybe diehard Star Wars fans would know. I don't think the dogs in the street would know, but yeah, like this, if I had to critique it, the head sculpt isn't a 10, but is that even a critique? I'd say it's a solid 7, if not an 8. And like, you're not like, I just know I mix things up every now and then, but typically when I find a nice pose, I tend to leave them there for long periods of time and then come back and repose them a few months later. But yeah, the helmet's going on it, the blast shield's coming down, the head sculpt basically doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't look great there, to be honest. yeah, this right here, now this is the pose that, like, when I take it straight out of the box, this is the first thing I'm going to do. So this is the pose I'm probably going to leave it in for long periods of time into the detail. So obviously the helmet on, blast shield down, you're incorporating the chin strap and the mic and that little piece that goes in between the head and the helmet. So kind of like a skull cap type of thing. The gloves are going to use them. The lightsaber hilt, great to incorporate that. The blaster in the holster. The grapple gun. Is it a grapple gun? Am I saying that right? I noticed the device he used to shoot up onto the underbelly of the AT-AT, and it, like I said, it is magnetic. Yeah, maybe if I'm wrong about that, maybe it's called something else, let me know in the comment section down below. I think he has a detonator in his hand as well. It'd be great to incorporate that, because then you're incorporating the vast majority of the accessories that he comes with. Basically, the only thing I probably won't incorporate is the stand, which I just won't use unless I do some sort of pose with him shooting up, but like I won't do that. I think I might do that, and it's not going to stay there for long periods of time. So in short, this was a dopo. I'm really excited about this. This was like probably my #1 most anticipated figure. Actually, it's my #1 I think anticipated Hot Toys, but #1 anticipated figure obviously that Queen Studio Joker. But yeah, this is great. Really looking forward to this whenever Sideshow gets their act together and ships it to me, considering I bought and paid it well over 6 months to a year ago. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know if you're getting this or not, if this was a dopo or not, if you like this figure or not, if you collect original trilogy or not. Just let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. You can also follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. See you in the next one. Good luck.